Now, throughout the entire tour, people were always throwing various items up on the stage to the performers, especially to Bob Dylan. Anyway, someone in the crowd in San Diego, possibly noticing Dylan's fatigue and poor health, tossed a small silver cross up on the stage. Dylan noticed it, picked it up, put it in his pocket. Well, the group's next appearance was to be in Tucson, Arizona. 2 days later, in a hotel room in Tucson, Bob Dylan experienced what he says was a literal visitation from Jesus Christ. In Dylan's own words, quote, "There was a presence in my room which couldn't have been anybody but Jesus. Jesus put his hand on me. It was a physical thing. I felt it. I felt it all over me. I felt my whole body tremble. The glory of the Lord knocked me down and picked me up," unquote. We don't know the details immediately following that encounter, but we do know that Bob Dylan solidly embraced evangelical Christianity from that point. He undertook a 3-month discipleship course run by the Association of Vineyard Churches. Musically, Bob entered what is known as Dylan's Christian period. Over the next 3 years, Bob released 3 albums of solidly Christian gospel content. The first album was probably the best received by music critics. Titled Slow Train Coming, it had 9 new songs on it. Observers noted a new energy, a new creativity in Bob Dylan's writing and performing in this time. Others observed that the backup band was the best band musically of Bob's career. The second album, put out in 1980, was titled Saved. The biblical themes and song titles are wonderfully woven into the lyrics, as only Bob Dylan can do. This is probably the most openly biblical, gospel-oriented album of the 3. He literally is preaching to the listener. The third album came out in 1981, and it was titled Shot of Love. I don't think the sales of this album match those of the previous 2 albums. Finally, in 1983, the themes of the next albums began to change. Dylan was no longer overtly preaching the gospel through his music. Dylan makes the comment, "It's time for me to do something else." Jesus himself only preached for 3 years, which was about the length of time Dylan played the evangelist in his music. And yet the author, Parker Fischel, says that though the hardcore embrace of Christianity starts to peter out, it actually broadens but does not disappear. All those biblical themes had been throughout Dylan's work, even from the beginning, and bubbled up at different times.